Hello, my name is Chuck Vanderstel, and I'm a real estate agent in Northwest Indiana who's an associate broker with Listing Leaders, and I'm the founder of the real estate website quadwalls.com. What I want to share with you today is a little bit of information about buying a foreclosed home in Indiana and the foreclosure sale process. So how I want to get started is we get a lot of phone calls from people who are wanting to buy a foreclosure. Most often, by the time we're done with that phone call, that person's no longer interested in purchasing a foreclosed home. A lot of people, they see foreclosures online, they see how cheap those are, they get really excited. We get a lot of people calling saying, I want to buy a foreclosed home because it's so cheap and I want to fix it up. The thing is, there's a lot that goes into purchasing a foreclosed home and a substantial amount of risk. So what we kind of want to do today is share with you a few things. First, we want to explain what is a foreclosure and that process, what to expect when you are buying a foreclosed home, how to buy a foreclosed home in Indiana. That's where we are and that's where we work. It might be pretty similar in other states, but we definitely know how to do it in Indiana because we help customers do it. And where to look for foreclosures, that's very important. And number 5, who should and who should not be purchasing a foreclosure. So let's just jump right in. So what is a foreclosure? A foreclosure is the end result of the foreclosure process. Foreclosure occurs when somebody quits paying on their mortgage or they get too far behind on their mortgage. The mortgagee, which that is the lender, will then begin the foreclosure process. If the buyer cannot get if the homeowner cannot get the situation resolved, the bank will foreclose on the home and then eventually sells that home to a willing and able buyer. The process is a long legal process. Usually the evidence from the lender is pretty clear. You didn't pay your mortgage, you're too far behind on your mortgage, you violated the terms of your mortgage contract. So the foreclosure process just kind of moves forward. There are a lot of state and federal protections for consumers to stop that process. Again, I don't want to get too deep into those. I'm a real estate agent, not an attorney. But I know there's different situations with bankruptcy and things like that that can cut off a foreclosure. My advice is this: if you have a foreclosure notice, you don't know what to do, you could speak to your lender directly or speak to an attorney. That would probably be the best bet. One thing I want to touch on too with the foreclosure process, two more things actually. What is a REO? R-E-O, maybe you're online, you see that term come up a lot. What is a REO? A REO stands for real estate offering. Basically, it just means a bank is selling a foreclosed home. REO is synonymous with foreclosed home. But pre-foreclosure, that's the last thing that I want to talk about with the foreclosure process. You might see on some real estate websites pre-foreclosures listed. I know there's one very popular national website that lists pre-foreclosures. Don't spend your time on these. And I'll explain why. So a pre-foreclosure just means something is happening and maybe a home will go into foreclosure. But the truth is, most of the homes that go into pre-foreclosure never hit the market as a foreclosed home. Don't waste your time really looking at these. A pre-foreclosure is started when a lis pendens is issued, which is Latin for suit pending. Basically, if you get too far behind on your mortgage, your lender will will kind of start a suit against you to take back ownership of that home. A lot of times that's where things get cleared up. The homeowner might catch up on their loan really quickly and then stay caught up, or the homeowner might catch up on their loan and then just sell the house, which will wipe out the mortgage. So, and to the foreclosure process, it often takes 2 years, sometimes almost 3. So if you're really in the market for a foreclosed home, spending time looking at pre-foreclosures, not a good idea. A lot of those, they'll never come close to getting foreclosed on. Okay, so we'll keep moving along. Number 2, what to expect when buying a foreclosed home. So a few big things to or to expect. Number one, the home is probably going to be in really rough condition. It's going to be deteriorated. The utilities probably aren't going to be turned on. Basements and crawl spaces are oftentimes flooded. Sometimes there's animals in them. Vandalism. Sometimes there's homeless people living in them. They're in very, very rough shape, completely falling apart. Again, this process can take years. So it's very possible that no one's been in that home for years. Another thing to expect is you will not be able to have a proper home inspection. Most often, the utilities are no longer turned on at the home. The bank selling the home is not going to allow you to have the utilities turned on. So then your home inspector cannot properly do his or her job. The home inspector can't run water, can't check electrical receptacles, can't check electrical fixtures. Just none of that can be done. So I can't turn on the furnace to see if that's working. If it has a well, they can't. There's no power going to the pump in the well, so there's no way to get any water in the house to even see if the well's working. So really be careful with that. You're not going to be able to have a proper home inspection when buying a foreclosed home. And the other big thing to expect is foreclosed homes usually need to be purchased with cash. So that's one of the huge reasons that foreclosed homes sell so inexpensively, so cheaply. They usually have to be cash. Those properties are usually in too bad of condition for a bank to be willing to make a loan on the property. So you need cash, and that's something that really keeps a lot of people from buying foreclosures. How to buy a foreclosed home in Indiana. Honestly, it's really not any different than buying a home that's owned by a homeowner. What you do is you search for homes. Once you see a home you like, I strongly encourage you to reach out to a real estate agent. Oftentimes, the program that is selling, whether it's a government program or a bank directly that's selling the home, many times they want a real estate agent involved in the process. So I would really encourage you to enlist the help of a real estate agent. Once you have that real estate agent, go take a tour of the home, see what you think. From there, if you still like it, you'll make an offer. This is where, again, your real estate agent will be very helpful. Your real estate agent can help you understand the current value of the home and should also be able to help you know what the after repair value is. So if this is like most foreclosures, needs a lot of work done to it, what's it going to be worth once all that work is done? And us as real estate agents should be able to provide you that information. I know I would be able to provide a customer that information, and that's a huge help that we can provide to really kind of help you understand, should you be doing this and what should you be paying for that home? So you make your offer gets accepted. Next step after that, you're gonna wanna get that transaction to a title company. Yes, you can have a title company review your foreclosure home purchase, and would strongly encourage you to do that. That way you make sure you get clean, good title to the property. As the title company's doing their work, the seller might need some more paperwork completed from you. Step 5 would be to work on those things and gather up your cash to make the purchase. And then step 6, you close on the property at the title company, and that's pretty much it. There really isn't anything too different in buying a home that is foreclosed here in Indiana than purchasing it with a homeowner. Your biggest difference is, 1, do not anticipate on having a proper inspection done. And number 2, the bank is not going to fix anything, or the government agency selling the foreclosed home, they will not be making any repairs whatsoever. Number 4, I think this is actually the most important part of this video, where to look for foreclosures. I want to give you first where not to look for foreclosures. 1, ignore pre-foreclosure lists. It's absolutely meaningless. Number 2, avoid auction sites. There's a lot of fine print on those auction sites. There's incredibly high fees on top of the purchase price. Also, many times with auction sites, there will be language on there that says you cannot tour the home, do not disturb the property. So you're not even supposed to step foot on the property, so you're buying it completely blind. You have no idea what the inside is like, other than maybe a few pictures. And they even also say there might be occupants of the home, and once you purchase it, it is your responsibility to have them removed. So that's a lot of work that I would really look out for. Just really is increasing what is already a risky situation and increasing that risk factor so much more. The third place I would avoid is paid lists of foreclosed homes. There's nobody kind of monitoring this, monitoring the accuracy of that information. Why spend money on bad information? Because now I'm going to tell you where you can get great, accurate information for free. First place to go look. Go to HUDhomestore.com. HUD Home Store, these are homes that are being sold by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I have helped customers purchase HUD homes. Process goes really fast, really smoothly. You can tour the home. You can use a real estate agent. You actually have to use a real estate agent with HUD. And there won't be any occupants in the home when you buy it. If there is, it would only be like homeless vagrants who will run away very quickly. I've never had that happen. The home is always empty. The second place would be homepath.com. Homepath is, that's Fannie Mae, which is a government agency that underwrites home loans. If any of those home loans go into foreclosure, Fannie Mae then sells them, and their website where you can look for actual active foreclosures is homepath.com. And then third, call a local real estate agent. Working with a real estate agent, looking at the right real estate websites with information fed by the local multiple listing service and MLS, that information is going to be accurate. As a real estate agent and as a member of a real estate association with an MLS, there's a lot of rules that I have to follow, including providing accurate, timely information to the MLS, and that information is then spread out to real estate websites and real estate publications. Anything you see coming from an MLS, pretty good chance that it's going to be pretty accurate, that the home is an actual foreclosure, that is actually for sale. All the terms of the sale and everything will be right there. So basically kind of, look for foreclosures that are actually listed with a real estate agent. Feel free to call that real estate agent or call a real estate agent of your own and say, hey, I want you to start searching for foreclosed properties for me. All right, the final part of this video, sorry it's a little bit long and sorry for my yawning, a little bit early for me today. And stayed up a little bit late last night writing the article to go along with this video. Who should and who should not be considering buying a foreclosure? This is who should not be considering buying a foreclosure. Let's start with that side first. If you need a home to live in immediately, don't buy a foreclosure. If you don't have a lot of extra money after making the purchase, don't buy a foreclosure. If you don't have a lot of know-how of how to repair things, or you don't have the time to repair things, don't buy a foreclosure. And if you are going to completely count on the help of friends and family members to do all the repair work because you know a person who does this and you know a person who does that, don't buy a foreclosure. Foreclosures are best as investment properties, or if you're going to buy it and fix it up, but you have somewhere to live in the meantime. Pretty much every person buying foreclosure grossly underestimates the amount of time and money it will take to rehab that property. Foreclosures make a lot of sense for experienced real estate investors or people starting to get into the real estate investment world, whether you want to rehabilitate and flip those properties or whether you want to rent those properties out and have an income stream in the future. Foreclosures are great because they can be bought cheaply, but they carry with them a very substantial amount of risk. They're often in very deteriorated condition, and it will cost you more than you think to get that property rehabilitated. So that's some information about buying a foreclosed home in Indiana and the foreclosure sale and purchase process. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. We regularly put out information about the Northwest Indiana real estate market and how to help you make better decisions with buying and selling real estate anywhere in America. We do have a special focus on Indiana. QuadWalls.com was founded in Northwest Indiana, and the agents that are QuadWalls connected agents are all licensed in Indiana. So, but we look forward to expanding in the future, and we know it's a great big world out there, and a lot of what we share can be pretty applicable to your local area. As always, never a bad idea to check with a local real estate agent in your area to kind of see how things work there. But again, subscribe to this channel. Feel free to click the link, and you could read this whole article, and you can also get the links to those sources of foreclosed homes. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.